33. That night, 9:30 p.m., doorbell rang. Veera went to the main door and I followed him. When he opened the door, there were standing Jaykumar and his fellows. But Veera didn't open the grill gate. "Where is Geeta?" Jaykumar shouted. "Hey, have you come here to make problem?" With the same tone of Jaykumar, Veera said this. Jaykumar saw me and said, "Nagaraj, open this." He touched that grill gate. But Veera touched my shoulder and pressed. "Geeta! Hi Geeta!" Jaykumar shouted. Veera took one step front closer to Jaykumar, sniffed and said, "Hey, are you drunken? Get out of this place." "Nagaraj, open the door. I just want to see Geeta and leave. I won't create any problem." Jaykumar said it politely. "Leave this place. Don't create such scene at night time," said Veera. "Open the door. I've just come and see Geeta and leave. Won't do any problem. Trust me." Jaykumar said it calm to Veera. "What a politician. Nothing doing. Leave the place," said Veera and got in the house. Jaykumar stood there for a few seconds, saw me and left the place. I closed the door only after his car left our street. 10 p.m. "Hello, Mapla." Veera hissed on the telephone. "Yes, Mama. Pandi told the matter. This time we must prove our strength," said the opposite voice. "Mapla, listen. This is the golden opportunity that we must not miss. He had tortured our girl. We must use this chance." Veera kept whispering. "How dare him to harass our kid? Tell me, Mama, what must we do?" "You just tell the plan, we'll execute it," said the opposite voice. Veera said the whole plan for the next half an hour. Early morning, 2:30 a.m. Except Veera, we were all sleeping. After a long gap, we 4 kids were sleeping together. A lorry reached our house. Veera opened our door and got near the lorry. The street was totally empty and silent. Mutely, Veera welcomed all the village people who came in that lorry. Almost 60 to 70 men from village, all drunken with instruments, knives, wooden logs, etc., got down from the lorry. He has not come after that. Actually expected him, but he will definitely come after dawn. Before that, Veera signaled something to Pandi. All the men were standing out. Only Pandi and Veera got in our house. By that time, Lakshmi had got up and was observing all these. "Wake her up," Veera told Lakshmi. She came to our bedroom and woke up Geeta. I heard all such noise, but I didn't bother, and I actually didn't know much about the issue then. In next few minutes, lights were switched off again. All the people, along with Veera and Geeta, had left Madurai the night by night. Lakshmi, Mayal, Saranya and I were all alone in our house sleeping. "Do you think she can bear if I really beat her? I faked beating her, yaar," Jaykumar told me. It was just 6 o'clock early morning the next day and Jaykumar had appeared in our house with his men. They were all standing out. Lakshmi didn't want to speak to him. She remained inside the kitchen. "I don't know, I was sleeping. All I remembered was Geeta getting up from her bed," I said. Jaykumar was scratching his skin for a few seconds and deep thinking and said, "Your dad has shifted her somewhere." I was sitting idle. He sighed and saw my eyes. "Marriage is very tough for Nagaraj. To balance the wife and the mother is really a very tougher one. Universities must conduct some courses for that." He grinned. "Did you beat Geeta?" I asked straight. "Haven't you beaten her?" He countered. "What nonsense is this answer? Is Geeta a public property for everyone to come and beat?" I frowned within and thought it to myself. "I am a small boy comparing to you. I might have beaten her, but how can you beat a girl who is further smaller than me?" I questioned. "Hey," Jaykumar stood up. "Do you think she can bear if I really beat her? I faked beating her, yaar." "Fake? Why must you?" "You won't understand how to balance a mother like mine and a beautiful wife like your sister. Anyways, she's taken away from me. I hardly slept last night, though drunken, feeling headache now. I can't live without my Geeta." He expressed as if he was secreting tears. I clearly understood the moves of a politician. He was very clear not to show his anger in this situation. The tool he had used here was sentiment. "Okay, I am leaving." He left our house holding Oscar cup in his hand. The same morning around 10 a.m., one man from village sent by Veera reached our house and asked us all to come to the village. We started. Tiruppuvanam. It was a nicely developed village on the national highway of Madurai Ramanathapuram road. Today it has become a suburban village, very well developed. But according to the timeline of the story, by 2001, it was a developing village located on the bank of Vaigai River. It had a Kali temple in the opposite side of the river. My father's village, Muduvandidal, where he was born, was located 10 kilometers away from Tiruppuvanam. Veera had hidden Geeta in Pandi's house. Pandi was the Panchayat president of Muduvandidal and his house was located in Tiruppuvanam. This phase of Veera's life completely was administered by the friendship of Pandi. Veera started doing anything and everything for whatever Pandi has suggested. If Pandi pointed anything with his forefinger, Veera would accomplish that. Their friendship was very stronger during this year. What? Are we going to live here permanently? I exclaimed to Pandi. When we reached Pandi's house, Geeta came running towards us and hugged Lakshmi. By that time, Geeta had taken bath and changed her dress. Pandi was inviting and making us all comfortable to settle down. Lakshmi, Geeta and Saranya went inside the bedroom. Pandi, Mayal and I were sitting in the hall to discuss things. Your dad has gone to your house, said Pandi. To our house? Madurai? Just now we are coming from there, I said. Yeah, we know. He purposefully goes now after letting you all come here. He wants to sell that house and buy a new house here in the street, said Pandi, burping out his brunch. What? Mayal and I expressed our tremor in unison. Yeah, from here on you're all going to live permanently here. Your dad has already discussed things with all the bigots of our village and decided to settle here because we all can stay together to help each other. Now your dad requires massive physical support from our village. Opposing a politician like Jaikumar is not a simple thing. We require lots of hands. Pandi finished his panchayat speech. How are we going to live here permanently? I exclaimed. Pandi was seeing my grimacing eyes. This is our new house. Veera entered in first and I followed him disgustingly. It is an old house, pink color painted in outer walls and dark blue in all the inner walls. What an architecture, I wondered. Veera had taken all the things from our Madurai house and asked the laborers to unload them from the truck and to arrange them within that pinky. Shock, inability, disgust, anger, etc. were all the combined emotions I had in that moment. This pinky was just 3 houses next to Pandi's house. Veera had rented that house temporarily before buying a new house in that area. After fixing all the things and the truck gone, Veera had left to Pandi's house. Lakshmi and we 4 children were just standing calm in the center of the hall for a while, and our eyes were looking around that inner bluish prison with heartfelt pain. Nobody was talking to anyone. Words were stuck. I broke that silence. I went and stood in front of Geeta and said, "It's all because of you, right?" She blinked. You loved, you eloped, you married, you suffered, everything is happening for you. What sin these kids did to suffer all these? I showed Mayal and Saranya. I threw away my hands in distress. I sighed and muttered, I don't know why you are still alive. Sunday evening. We were all sitting in that pinky house like in a morning ceremony except Veera, who always used to stay in Pandi's house. He would come only to sleep, even finishing the food there. How am I to go to Ramanathapuram from here? How about Saranya and Mayal? How will they go to their schools? I raised the issue. Appa told that he would leave me and Saranya in Rajati Aunt's house today night. We must stay there to go to school. For weekends, Appa will take us here, said Mayal. What is this? Aren't we messing things up? I sighed so deeply in disgust, held my forehead and sat silently, not knowing how to tackle such tangles. No other go. That night, Veera took Mayal and Saranya in his scooter and left them in Rajati's house. I left for Ramanathapuram from there. When I was leaving, I hugged and kissed Lakshmi as usual, and I noted loads of pain on her eyes. What a noble creature this lady was. What an excellent mother she was. Lakshmi and Geeta were alone in Tiruppuvanam. After 2 days, on that Wednesday, remove that Tirumangalayam and throw away, roared Veera at Geeta in that gathering. That was the first gathering in Tiruppuvanam Panchayat office regarding Geeta's issue. Panchayat President Pandey was heading the gathering while the other big heads sitting beside him were a lawyer, a policeman and vice president of that Panchayat. They had planned for 2 gatherings, one exclusively with Geeta alone to hear her interpretation and the second one after 1 week with Jaykumar and Lakshmi. I didn't understand why Lakshmi in the second gathering. Veera had a plan in dragging Lakshmi into it which I never knew then. Oh, really? Banyan tree? For Panchayat gathering? Author's note. I was always earlier wondering why movies used to camouflage all the Panchayat gatherings typically around such big trees under which all these big heads would lead the congregation while all other village people would stand in front of them. Only after it happened in real life I understood we must not criticize movies recklessly. Their exaggerations are always based on some factual foundation. It was a huge banyan tree which had a sitting platform around its hip for 1 meter above the ground. Veera had officially filed this case in this panchayat to decipher this problem out. Moreover, I was not present in this panchayat gathering and was narrated this incident later. Tell me, Mrs. Geeta, what is your statement? Started Pandey. Geeta was trembling and felt all these were new to her, but she was in a position to speak out this moment. She saw all the village ladies standing around her and the same amount of men in another side. She must be feeling so bad for being in such situation and also must be painful for being the reason of dragging the family to such consequence. If you don't speak out this moment, you may be facing the same problem in just near future. The lawyer said it so politely. Geeta put her head down and opened her mouth. This is an arranged marriage. You all believe that the arranged marriages are always better than love marriages. Before Geeta completed the sentence, Veera intervened. Speak to the relevance, he roared at her. Geeta sternly saw her father's eyes and continued. I thought I can find love in even a wild man, but I fail. I'm suffering. I wish this panchayat to help me. She made it very curt and looked back Veera and said again in the same stern, I hope I have put it forth relevantly. After a few seconds, Pandey, turning towards the lawyer, said, What shall we do further to it? Veera shrieked, We must call off this marriage and detach the couples. Enough of my daughter having suffered with him. Pandey was nodding and turned to Geeta. What are you saying, dear? She was just holding incomprehensible pain in her eyes and struggled to reply for this. What must she say? She's a small girl. We must decide, said Veera, not letting this moment to lose. After providing a silence, the lawyer said to Geeta, If we carry forward this case to court to apply for divorce, are you okay with that, dear? Geeta's heart was beating fast. Divorce? In my life? Did I ever expect all this happen in my life? Why did I grow up a woman now? I must have been a small school-going girl. I grew up and so did the problems around me. God help me. What must I answer now? What are we asking the opinion to her for? Yes. I, as the father of the applicant, demand that she must be divorced from him. Veera bellowed in high pitch. Everyone found Geeta's wet eyes in that moment. Remove that Tirumangalayam and throw away, roared Veera at Geeta. Geeta started crying uncontrollably and one of the ladies came to hold her. For a while the heads were speaking among themselves and it went on for 10 minutes before Pandey declared the final verdict of that first gathering. Officially, this gathering comes to the end and we leaders want to discuss about this issue here on as we understood the mentality of the applicant. The second gathering is with Mr. Jaykumar and Mrs. Lakshmi regarding certain issues around them both. Till then, the gathering is dispersed. Before Pandey completed this, Veera intervened. I want to talk to my village people now, especially with the ladies. As our president was mentioning about the second gathering, it will be an inquiry based on morality. I have a request here. In our Muduvandadal village, there is a practice when a lady is suspected for her moral issue, she will be brought into the gathering and will be beaten by every single lady of that village to let her know how valuable the marriage life is. I request this Tiruponam village panchayat to allow that practice happen in the second gathering using these ladies. The moment Veera said it, Geeta fainted down.